afternoon, folks. Today I'm sitting in the interview chair. This is Brandon Morningstar with Bending Reality Magazine. I'm getting to sit down with Sami Chohfi from the band Blue Helix from Washington. I'm going to allow him to introduce himself now. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm Sami Chohfi from Blue Helix. How are you?
The readers of Bending Reality, as well as myself, would like to know the origin of how the band's name came about.
Blue Helix. Yes, that's a good question. I wanted a name that signified a person who's been born for music, a person who lives, breathes, and eats, music, right? And, the helix is the human genome, right?
Uh-huh.
The double helix. And looking up meanings of colors, blue happens to be in many different definitions, depending, like the blue chakra is the creative color, the music color, and also blue in some other definitions represents the light, if you will, and creativity, and again, music. I saw that popping up a lot. It's like, wow, okay, great. So it was almost like a definition for music human, Blue Helix.
Right.
So that's how I stuck with it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna check the USPTO trademark office taken, and it wasn't, and it's
very cool.
Yeah, so we stuck with it. Mm-hmm.
Who would you say influences you musically, like when you were younger and now? Who are some of your influences?
I started playing guitar because of bands like Green Day and Nirvana, but what really got me into songwriting were bands like the Smashing Pumpkins and Radiohead. Bands like Tool, Filter, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden. I think Chris Cornell by far is my favorite singer. But bands like Nin and Stone Temple Pilots, those bands, mainly the '90s grunge movement, if you will. I know that word is sometimes frowned upon, but it's what it was laid back at the time. And the Seattle sound, and that was probably one of my biggest influence growing up as a kid.
Very cool. My wife will be happy to know that I'm interviewing a grunge fan. Oh my, she will. She'll be like, oh wow.
We're not. I don't know if we're so much grunge as much as we are a hybrid of it, right? We're a little bit more polished sounding, I think, than the grunge era, as far as tonally and stylistically. But definitely all the influence does come from there, and that's pretty much what I still listen to.
Okay. Would you say your local market is still pretty receptive to music like that, or?
Well, I think everywhere you go, there's a niche for everything. I mean, you'd be surprised. In the same area, you'll find a large group of people who like metal to rap to acoustic rock. I mean, music is diverse in so many ways for so many people, right? I mean, a lot of people like listening to different styles of music just throughout the week. So, yeah, I would say it's just that people are receptive to it. I would say people who like really heavy music do like us, and people who like more of the softer side of rock and more acoustic-y kind of music like us as well. So I think what we do is right in the middle there. So it's a win-win for us. We don't lean heavily towards one side or the other. So we kind of get those people who like a little bit of everything.
Well, I've listened to your album now that you shared with me a couple of times, and I have to say everything is just well written. It's tight. It's beautiful. It's excellent material.
I appreciate that, Ben. What's your favorite song on the record?
The one you told me I need to play the most. I think it was Bullets.
Bullets. Very cool.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes. That song speaks to me more than anything. I don't know why, but it just does. It just really hits hard, and it's one of those songs that if I'm lacking a boost and I don't want to listen to something mainstream, I know I've got a lot of indie music to choose from, but for some odd reason, that song just hits me.
That's great. That's good to hear. Have you heard Runaways?
I think so.
The Runaways is in that same vein of Bullets.
Okay.
More of that heavy, high energy.
Right.
Let me know if you have that after our interview.
Okay. My next question is, how is the local FM radio stations towards you guys? Are they fair? Are they not fair?
Well, the local FM stations, a lot of them are the bigger stations, right? But thankfully, one of them, 89.9 FM, KGRG, has its own rotation. Has its own rotation. They've played Aliens on their station. They've played Carry Me. They played a lot of our songs, and, they're huge supporters of what we do, as we are them, and we're very grateful that we have their support. Some of the other stations are a little harder to get in. They do have local hours, but they're really, really late at night, on times of the day or times of the evening where people don't generally listen to the radio. While 89.9 FM, they play us throughout the entire day and evening. So it's a wonderful situation for us. So I would say we're very lucky and fortunate in the sense that they picked us up. Doesn't mean we're not trying to get on these other bigger stations, but until one of our songs actually goes to a mainstream, goes mainstream, and we're able to get more of a commercial radio play, I don't think it's going to be very easy to get into those. It's a hard market to crack into. A lot of really great bands that I know locally still haven't done it as well, and they've been at it for quite a while.
So getting the opportunity from online stations such as the ones I've been for, that you guys are very grateful for the airplay because it'll get played. And
absolutely, the radio stations are fantastic. I mean, they may not have the massive listeners that the commercial stations do, but they're loyal listeners, and people enjoy listening to music that isn't necessarily hand-selected for them, which is great about online radio.
Right.
And stations like yours really makes it possible for bands like us to be able to get more exposure and to get love from a new audience, which is fantastic.
Well, I feel, and this is just one man's opinion, honestly, that FM radio sometimes I feel turns a deaf ear, and it's a shame that they have to follow such strict rules because there is so much good music that isn't getting heard on a regular basis, and like you said, handed to, and it's not right. So for me, as an online radio personality, I feel that I need to get bands heard because that's something I'm enjoying a lot of, and that's indie and unsigned rock, and I try to pay it forward for it. All bands that I support as well as new ones that I'm discovering, I try to give them as much love as I can, and that if that means giving half of my show time each show that I spend towards indie and unsigned music, that's what I do.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's great.
Because there's so much that needs to be heard, in my opinion, because mainstream is just overblown, and it's, I guess you could say, that commercialized thing that everything has to be.
Yeah, you're right.
So, okay, how about some of your local venues that you guys enjoy playing at? Where are they at, and what are their names?
Local venues that we enjoy playing at. We enjoy playing quite a few in the past. I would say the best local venue because of their support of artists in combination with the ambiance and the sound and just as an overall grand picture of things. I would say Louis G in Fife is the best local venue for upcoming artists. Even bands on tour, they really take care of their artists. Not a lot of venues do that. They pretty much give the bands 100% of the door after the sound guy gets paid, and that's unheard of. It's amazing. Venues that I've enjoyed as far as playing and working with, my top two are probably Numos and the Showbox Market. I do like the Crocodile quite a bit, and the Columbia City Theater has got a good ambiance, good area, good place for a show, and the owner Laura is very nice as well. And let's see, other venues that come to mind. I could tell you my favorite venues to go see shows is the Gorge Theater. That's by far a goal of mine. It's one of my lifelong goals to be able to play the Gorge.
Okay.
And I always tell my wife I can't stop until that happens.
Are there other venues that you yearn to play someday?
Oh, yeah, Red Rocks in Colorado. That'd be fantastic. I would like to play stadiums in Brazil. My wife and I are from Brazil. There are places out there. I'd like to play in that. When they do the Rock in Rio, there's this big open area in Rio right on the beach where they set up stage. I'd like to play there. The list goes on and on with big places like that. I mean, Wembley wouldn't be bad, right?
Right.
Of course, I would love to play these places, but it would be better if playing these places to a group of people who actually know what they're listening to, opposed to
right.
Who the hell are these guys? How did they get here? But yes, those are all dreams and fantasies. But if it doesn't happen, it's okay. I feel like what I've done this far is I should be very grateful for, because I've been able to touch a lot of people with my music. I've been able to create quality music, quality video, and I'm very proud of what we've accomplished so far and what my band has accomplished so far and what we continue to do. So you just strive to always be better and be greater at what you're doing and always try for more success, and you got to be grateful for what you do get,
Yes, you've definitely touched this fan slash DJ slash writer too.
That makes me happy, Ben. Thank you.
You're welcome. The next question is, have you guys had the chance to play with or alongside any big names in the industry?
Not too many big names yet. A couple of bands we've played with early on in our career. The first iteration of the band, we played with a band called Floater, who was doing really well for a while. And we played with the LA Guns, who was big in the 80s. We played with, not just recently, not too long ago, Saving Abel.
Uh-huh.
And not playing with, but actually recording music with, and sharing creative juices with Scott Mercado, the drummer of Candlebox.
Okay.
And over the years, I've been able to hang out with those guys quite a bit. Unfortunately, a show with them didn't happen. That's not usually up to the bands, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, it's a pleasure being able to work with a pro like that. And Scott Mercado, the drummer for Candlebox, actually is on the album Tale of Two Halves, on 5 of the tracks on the record. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so some of those good drum beats you're listening to, that's Mr. Mercado. Really great.
Very cool. Yeah, I was a drummer in a past life in a band myself, so I can definitely appreciate good drum beats.
Absolutely.
So
we have I'm sorry, go ahead.
Who would you guys love to play alongside or as part of a tour with if you got the opportunity to do so?
Well, that's perfect. If you ask me and my drummer Noah, who him and I share pretty much the same music taste, we would say we would love to go on tour with the Smashing Pumpkins and the Foo Fighters. Those would be the two bands, one or the other, right?
Okay.
Muse would be amazing to go on tour with. I love Chevelle. I wouldn't mind going on tour with Chevelle. 30 Seconds to Mars. You ask my bass player JC, I think he would say any band that just kicks ass. JC is that music butterfly where he likes, I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but he likes everything. He likes everything from metal to, God, I heard him. We were on a road trip going to Portland not too long ago, and I heard him listening to that song. What's the band that goes, "Show me the success, show it to me."
Okay.
Yeah, the chick band.
So
I'm like, wow. He listens to everything. So yeah, I think those bands would be fantastic to tour with.
Okay. Early in your guys' inception, were there any covers that you guys enjoyed more than the others before you started writing original material?
Yeah, there's a lot of covers that I enjoy playing quite a bit. Let's see. Noah and I really like playing Bush, Come Down from Bush. We were doing Fuel for a little while. We did a Hemorrhage from Fuel. One of my all-time favorites, I know JC, my bassist, loved Lakini's Juice from Live. That's a great tune. Right now we cover, obviously Masters of War from Bob Dylan. We did a whole different rendition of it, which is on Tale of Two Halves, which is honestly, I mean, God, that's probably the most fun song to play. And then we do They Say from a band called Scars on Broadway. We play that pretty much at every show because it gets us going, it gets the crowd going. Nobody knows who it is, so it's kind of fun doing a cover that no one knows. Let's see, what other bands have we enjoyed covering? We've done System of a Down. We've done, 311, Beautiful Disaster from 311. That's a lot of fun to do. We've done that. And I think that about covers most of the covers. Of course, I'm forgetting the one that I probably sing the best is Don't Double Pilot.
Okay.
We've done Tripping on a Hole and Dead and Bloated. You can actually hear my audition for STP. They did an open audition for a singer about 6 months ago, and I put my auditions on Soundcloud for Dead and Bloated and Tripping on a Hole. You can listen to what I gave them. I submitted. I basically just took a mic, and just went in there and raw dogged it, no effects, no studio magic, just laid it down. It was a lot of fun, and I do love STP very, very much. So.
Okay, what inspired the title of the album, a Tale of Two Halves?
Tale of Two Halves. I was sitting at Pizza Place with my bassist at the moment. His name was Wolf. he and I were just sitting there, and I was like, hey, we should come up with an album name that kind of has to do with, writing songs that were, what would mean something that was writing songs in different times in the lifetime, right? Like 6 of the songs were written 3 years prior to the other, half of the record, where it's a different mindset, different time frame in my life. And I said, it's like a tale of two halves, is what I said to him. And he said, that should be the album title, Tale of Two Halves. I was like, yeah, it just happened. It just kind of escaped my mind, Tale of Two Halves.
Right.
And just having him confirm that that's a good name, we went with it. And honestly, too, another good reason why it was called Tale of Two Halves, it was different drummers were on that record. Half of the songs were with Scott Mercado, half the other songs were with my original drummer, Tapeworm, Curtis Miguel McCormack, called him Tapeworm because he could eat anything. My most recent drummer, Jebediah, played actually the drums on Bullet. So, it's been a little bit of a drummer shuffle, right? And that happens sometimes in bands, right? You kind of go through the motions of being in a rock band, and you see what works and what doesn't work, and you only hope that the newest reiteration continues to work, But yes, that's why it's called Tale of Two Halves.
Okay.
The different artist and the different time frame of when the song was written. So,
okay. And you mentioned
lengthy definition.
Very cool. You mentioned being married. Would you say that your wife is very supportive of you and your band?
My wife is definitely very supportive of what I do. She is the one that reaches out to the radio stations online for me. She's the one that helps with our Twitter. She does nothing. She pretty much 24/7 thanks Blue Helix, helps us with our social media, helps us with ideas, very hands-on. She's always there at all the shows, helping me with merch. I mean, there's nothing that she doesn't do for me and the band, and she's by far the reason why I stay very motivated to do it. It's nice having someone by your side that motivates and gives you that energy. The only negative is when you're happy with someone, you have such an amazing entity in your life, and you have this person that's so fantastic to you, You don't write those kinds of songs that are lovers lament and depressing, and the good rock stuff, right? So I'm still writing songs that it's not the abuse and the final breath stuff on the like you hear on Tale of Two Halves now. It's a whole different energy, but it's still great. It's actually in the last year I've written some of the best songs I've ever written, which you have not yet heard. So
my ears will be ready.
Yeah, I'm excited to get these recorded. Mainly because the newest reiteration of the band with Noah and JT, we got the right concoction, I think now. The right elixir. All the spices and herbs that we're throwing into the pot there, into the music pot is just it's making some good food. So everything's working, everything's vibing, and not to mention that when you got a drummer who beats the hell out of the drums to the point where he can break sticks that are marketed as unbreakable sticks, something's going good. It's all about that energy behind the kit too. It all starts with the drum recording. You know that, right, Ben? I mean, everything starts with the drum recording.
I totally agree with you on that, Sami.
Yeah, exactly.
So the next question regarding her and your band, if she came to you and said, honey, I've got a song, I've got the title and I've got the words, would you record it for me? Would you take her into consideration if she wanted to put her stamp on the upcoming record? Would you allow her that opportunity?
Of course I would. There's nothing I wouldn't do for my wife. I will tell you this. I told her I will never sing karaoke. I will not do it. I refuse to do it. Just the other day, we went out to a karaoke bar. She looked at me. She says, I want to sing. Will you sing with me? I just say no to her. Of course I'm going to do it. Not only did I do one song, we did 2 songs together. You know what I mean? We sang it as a duo. And, we were outshined by this other couple that did this song. Oh, Barbie, I'm a Barbie girl. I'm a Barbie girl. Yeah, and the guy was like, come on, Barbie, let's go party. And she was all just doing, orgasmic sounds on the mic. It was fantastic. But, my wife and I, we hit the note, though. We did well. We did one from Tonic, If You Could Only See, which I love Tonic. The other one we did was actually, believe it or not, Bush, Come Down. My wife was like sitting there, she's like, wow, there's a lot of musical breaks. This sucks for karaoke. I'm like, yeah, that's why it's fun to just actually physically play it. All those opportunities where as a band you can step away from the mic and just start killing it. But anyway, to answer your question, if my wife came to me and said, I have a song I want to record, will you allow me the opportunity? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's have fun. I'm supposed to start getting her vocal lessons, but she has yet to throw her name on my calendar here for my weekly students.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for her name just to pop up.
She'll spring it on you in the middle of the night. Okay, I'm ready.
Oh no! After 8 o'clock, she's done. She's it's time for her foot massage, and she's done.
Okay. What about other outside songwriters? If somebody came to you and said, "Hey, I like your band. I trust your band. If I gave you this song to write sheet music to, or even enhance the lyrics, what would you say to that musician or artist?"
I'm open. I'm always open to help artists, and I'm always open for writing songs. I'd love to meet some talented songwriters that I can co-write with. That'd be amazing. Absolutely amazing. I've reached out to a couple of singer-songwriters in the past that, never got back to me, as far as co-write. So, maybe they didn't get the message, maybe they weren't interested, but it'll happen. I have my band to feed off of, so that's cool. Right. So yeah, I would be open for that. I'm not one of those closed-minded, arrogant people that's like, oh no, my way or only way. If you have a good idea, present it, and if it's great, let's roll with it. That's how I am. If a singer-songwriter came to me, he's like, hey, need help with these lyrics, want to do this? Let's co-write it, let's do it, even perform it live with them. I'm always down for those kind of things.
And even talking to you before this interview, like in our discussions before that, I picked up on that very laid-back, very easygoing kind of vibe. I never pictured you or visualized you as the arrogant, pompous type, so no worries there.
No, I'm very anal with my band, I run a tight ship, with them, making sure that we're really tight, everyone's on their A game. I make sure, we stay focused on the song structure and what's best for the song instead of going off into a little jam. Mm-hmm. Right? I do that, and my band, I'm sure there's some trying moments with, where they are like, they have to take a deep breath with me because I'm so, particular, if you will, especially with tracking, Mm-hmm. But it all works out in the end. Good product, good live show. Our live show has gotten super great. That's a testament to every member of the band.
Mm-hmm. The next question is, what can fans such as myself and other Blue Helix fans anticipate with the new stuff?
Well, on the record and live, you can anticipate that the sonic quality, Taylor 2 has sounds great. My goal is to outdo Taylor 2 have with this next set of recordings.
Okay.
There's always room to grow, but I want to get just on this next album, fans can expect a bigger drum sound, thicker guitars, a more unique tone with them, I should say. Vocally speaking, I think that, I know that I've gotten better at what I do. The bass riffs are going to stand out a lot more in these mixes. They're not going to be as condensed as, the Taylor 2 has had a lot of strings in them, string arrangements, right? Uh-huh. Gemini and Carrion and Aliens have tons of cellos and violins and backing sounds and such. When you put those things in a mix, you have to bring down the volume of other instruments. You have to bring down the volume of the bass, the volume of the guitars. You know what I mean? Uh-huh. This is going to be more of a raw configuration, which kind of matches what we are live. We're sticking with a 3-piece, which was the original band was 3. We tried being a 4 for a little while, and it seems to work better as a 3, which is fine by. And, we want to, I always tell the band, we need to do live. And, be able to do live. If I can't sing it live, I'm not singing it on the record. It's that simple. The new songs live, what we're working for live now is an actual production, a show that has got theatrics and it's got things happening during the show, not just visuals. These things take time to build. The problem is when you're a local band, you don't have a lot of time to do these things. You have 15 minutes between bands to get on and off. That gives you just enough time to set your gear up and maybe get a line check. So, when we hold our own shows and our own events, like we did at the Columbia City Theater on July 1st when we did our premiere for Aliens music video, which I assume you've seen the Aliens music video.
Yes.
Great. Which that went off great. That, we were able to kind of plan how we wanted the show to go. If we were going to do one of those again, we'd be able to have all this stuff happening between the songs, with maybe actors coming up, and all the grandiose plans that we have moving forward. But our fans can expect us only to get better. We're a much tighter band now, especially as a 3-piece. We've gone to playing to a click live, which is huge when you're playing to a click live. Right. Everyone's on the same page. Everyone's on the same downbeat of one, right? Mm-hmm. So we come across much more professional that way. And after you play to a click, you kind of get spoiled. You kind of start missing it if it's not there. Like, where's that click? Mm-hmm. But yeah, onwards and upwards. And the new songs, I've been doing 2 different things, Ben. I have the new Blue Helix stuff is more focused on, we're trying to keep the songs in the vein of kind of like the Foo Fighters meet something else, right? Like Foo Fighters and that grunge, influence, but something else, something different. And that's what the new songs are. We have this new song called This Tragedy that is really, you're a musician, so you know, but it goes through three different time signature changes in the song, as well as, actual tempo changes.
Yeah.
And live we can truly do that because the click moves with us. It's really cool. And that song is it's an epic song. It's great. It's got a great chorus. And then we have Antisocial Butterfly, which is like this poppy, upbeat kind of muse kind of vibe sound, right? A lot of fun vocally. It's basically a conversation between myself and I'm not going to ruin it, but you listen to it. And then we just wrote this new one called Enemy. Fantastic tune, really upbeat, real poppy, but still rock vein. It's very exciting stuff. And we just started writing a new one that I think I want to record as an instrumental. I'm not sure if we're going to throw vocals on it yet, but I hear it on a video game or a movie, a high-speed chase. It's a really great killer riff. It's a lot of fun. So I've got to give that one a cool name.
Right.
Instead of, hey, the jam, right now we're calling it the drive.
Oh, all right.
but yeah, so a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff in the docket.
Antisocial Butterfly. That sounds pretty creative.
I love that song. Antisocial Butterfly is amazing. I only wish I had another guitar player live for that song, so I could just work the mic like Steven Tyler, But when you're married to the guitar, you're married to the guitar. Got to do your job. Thank God playing the guitar has become like muscle memory at this point. All I got to focus on is testing that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, I can do the guitar thing. I just got to make sure I do the singing thing well.
All right. Who was somebody in your MP3 player or digital device, phone musically, that when you're just unwinding, someone that would shock even yourself at times that's in there that you listen to?
Ooh, I don't know. Shocking? Who would shock me? I don't know. Man. I mean, like, just what I've listened to in the last month. Mainly, I listened to a lot of Cornell, his solo record, Higher Truth. I listen to a ton of that. I listen to a lot of Goo Goo Dolls, too. When I'm with my band, we listen to heavy music, right? When I'm by myself, me and my wife and I, we listen to a lot of acoustic kind of mellow stuff. But we like everything. I mean, I listen from Antichrist Superstar from Marilyn Manson, The Fragile from Nine Inch Nails. Man, surprisingly enough, and I hate to admit this, but I'll turn on the radio once in a while, hoping to hear some 21 Pilots, After enough times of hearing the same song over and over again, believe it or not, you start liking it. Like, I will hear a song, like Linkin Park was that for me. I heard Linkin Park, and I was like, man, this is horrible. I hate this. I kept hearing it, and then I kept hearing it. And then I'm all of a sudden in my car screaming, calling out my skin. So, yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? And now I own, like, every Linkin Park album. And so, I don't know, repetition helps. For some of those oddballs. I would say probably for people who know me, for me to say, to answer your question, I would say 21 Pilots would be like, they would never suspect I would listen to that. Like, my sister would kill me if I said, Tiff, check out the 21 Pilots. She'd be like, no. My sister's like totally into like, Carnival and Tool and some really abstract stuff, and Sigur Rós and Portishead and stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah, that would be my answer.
Okay. If the opportunity presented itself where you guys could venture eastward come across the country to play, say, somewhere close proximity to me, what would you guys be open to that possibility?
Of course, we're actually wanting to set up a tour then for next year. We actually have to get on ASAP, but we want to set up a tour, and obviously we would love to tour the entire state. We'd love to come to the East Coast. I think people have fantastic taste in the East Coast of the state, the New York side of things. I mean, I used to live in Florida. I mean, as much as I hated Florida, I know as you go up the coast there, rock seems to be a big deal. My rock friends have told me that people are very responsive to music on the East Coast, as well as even the Midwest. But yeah, we would love to. It's just a matter of being able to make enough money to pay for gas and food on the way there. You got to cover your expenses. We've made the mistake of playing outside of the state and it costing us our behinds, because most of these venues are very pay to play. If a whole bunch of people don't show up to see you play, you're not getting anything. They're gonna take advantage of the bands that are willing to come and play and pay for their bar and entertain their guests. Oh, hey, thanks for coming. They're doing you a favor for for you coming out and playing their venue. It's just so unfair. So we're at a point where at this point, we do shows that we want to do. We don't just play-to-play shows anymore. You know, we used to do that starting off. We play every venue. Some venues we play in the same month twice. And they kept asking us back. We're like, wow, they want us back. And I was thinking, oh, they must really like our music. That wasn't so much it as much as it was we're bringing people to their bar, spending money, buying food, buying drinks. They're making money on us, and they're, giving us $50. I mean, like, you know what? It started clicking after a while. I was like, you know what? This needs to be treated more like a business. We need help. We got a manager on board now, and my wife and I are going to do some more research on where to play and reaching out to other bands that are touring and things of that nature. So that way we're doing things that are productive, but also not making us feel like we're being taken advantage of. So at this point, coming to the East Coast would be great, but we're not going to go out there unless it's going to at least be taken care of.
Right. Well, I think, and this is again just my opinion, I think you guys would be well received in my area.
I would love that. I would love to be able to come to your area and throw it down, and there'll be a bunch of people that's into it and loving it, and then we do an after party at Ben's place. That'd be a lot of fun. I mean, have the radio station people there and killing it. It'd be a lot of fun. And I could see that in our future. Right now, our only show that we have planned is October 22nd at KZRG, the radio station that plays us. We would never say no to them. They show us love, and we don't have anything planned after that. We're going to record and work on our next video idea, which we have on the docket, and then we work on a tour and planning bigger things for the band. But playing the local circuit out here in Washington, as much as I love playing shows, and takes a lot of energy and time from everything else, because you're preparing for shows opposed to recording songs or working on other things. So, after the show on the 22nd, we'll pretty much be in the studio.
Cool.
But let me know if something over there in Pennsylvania opens up and someone's like, hey, we'll fly you guys down here. You guys can play the venue, do a whole weekend thing there. And yeah, we'll do it. Fly us down there, give us a place to stay,
Well,
backline, maybe some instruments, we'll be good to go.
Well, if you guys are able to make it anywhere close to my area, because I know this market it's very receptive and open-minded to indie bands, and the bands around here are very good about bringing bands that aren't in the area around. That if I can help them reach out to bands such as yourselves to bring you guys over, that would be awesome. I'll tell you
what, Ben, send me an email with any contacts you have. If you have any bands or venues that might be interested in booking us on our tour, please send it our way. We'll reach out to them. We'd love to put that on our rotation of where we're headed. It would be amazing on the route we stop by in Pennsylvania. It'd be amazing. I mean, come on. How would I say no to that, right? So any help you can offer, send it my way, brother.
Definitely will. Now, my last question before I ask you if you don't mind recording promos for me before we hang up. The last question is timetable for the new album. When approximately do you think that will be released?
Let me think. Knowing me, I would say probably next April, May. I would say next summer would be the next record.
Okay.
But it'll be well worth the wait. This thing's gonna kick people straight in the groin area, repeatedly. I'm excited for it, but I would say next summer.
Okay.
For sure.
Cool. Well, Sammy, I want to thank you for the interview time, and I'm looking forward to another one down the road. So.
Ben, the pleasure was all mine, brother. I appreciate everything. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.